Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to be speaking on prayer this morning, so I wanted to open with an Irish blessing. Christ be with me, be after me, be before me, and be at my right and left hand. May everything I do be for Christ. We all have different passions in our spiritual life, and a favorite of mine is prayer. Prayer is a way to stay in love with God, and according to S.D. Gordon, the greatest thing anyone can do for God or man is pray. Prayer is a study, it's a learning process, and the more that we pray, the better we become at it. Jesus wants us to pray to Him and have a relationship with Him. And in the Bible, He gives us many examples of prayer. Jesus prayed for His friends in John chapter 17 and for His enemies in Mark chapter 23. He prayed in public. In Hebrews 10:25, He tells us, where 2 or 3 are gathered in His name, He is there also. He prayed in private in Matthew 14:23. After He dismissed the crowd, He went up into the hills by Himself to pray. He encourages us in Matthew 6:6, when you go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father. And He gave us a model for prayer in the Lord's Prayer. Prayer is always available. At any time, day or night, we can call on Jesus. Nothing can keep us from approaching Him in prayer except for our own choices. Prayer allows us to participate in God's work. Prayer lets others know and experience the love of Jesus, and it strengthens the bonds between believers. I have an active prayer life, but I have to admit that in today's society, our daily lives are just so jam-packed that sometimes it's nearly impossible to add one more thing, and so often our prayer life suffers. I'd like to share with you some of the ways I keep prayer an active part of my daily life. I always start my day with prayer. I have a 30-minute drive to work. I try not to turn the radio on, and I spend that time with Jesus by praising Him, praying intercessory prayers for others, and just listening for His direction. I have an office full of prayer warriors. We're always sharing our prayer requests for others with each other. And although we come from different faith backgrounds, prayer is universal. I'm very blessed that at the hospital where I work on Wednesdays, a Bible study and prayer service is offered, and I can attend the services as part of my work day. I try to set aside a time each evening to have a devotional and prayer time. I'm actively involved with our prayer ministries here at church, and there's many opportunities available in which to participate, which include the prayer ministry. You're notified of the prayer requests by email, and you have the privilege of praying at your home or praying in the small chapel at church or at the prayer room at Crossroads. The prayer calendar, which is available on the church website and in the parlor by the prayer door, has daily prayer focuses as well as events occurring at our church and at Crossroads for which to pray for. The prayer door, which is located in the parlor, was dedicated last year during Unbinding Your Heart. You can pray for prayer requests left on the door, and you'll even find prayer requests on that door from our children and our youth. And prayer walking is another type of prayer ministry that's being introduced here at the church, and you're probably finding more about that in your Unbinding Your Soul series. One of the most important things I want to stress about prayer is when you pray, let Jesus' Spirit lead you. Don't stress, just enjoy the experience, and also remember, prayer is free. Doesn't cost anything, just your time. Most importantly, know that Jesus will be waiting and listening for you as you seek Him. My prayer for each of you is that you grow deeper in your faith and that you develop a more loving relationship with Jesus. And my prayer for our church is that it becomes a more prayerful church. I'll close with Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him.